Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I've got an ink for you. This is Sheaffer Latte. Now, this is from a set of Sheaffer inks that came out in the last couple of years, and I have several of them. These were very, very good. They came in these cool little bottles that look like this. They are sort of a throwback to the old Sheaffer bottles with the inkwell in the side. I'll open this one up so you can see that little glass inkwell in the side there. See that division? What you do is when you tilt the ink bottle over, you can fill up that side, and no matter how little ink is left in your bottle, you can fill it up from that inkwell very easily. It's a great feature. Oh, and these are really good bottles. You see how that top there has that foam thing? That keeps your ink from drying out or evaporating, and that little plastic nub there connects the foam thing to the top of the bottle so it doesn't come off and get stuck to the top of your to the glass here, which is really nice as a feature. These are great. I hope they make these again. I don't know if they're going to or not because Sheaffer has changed hands since then, but I'm really hoping that Sheaffer brings these back because these are fantastic. Let's look at this ink. All right, here you have Sheaffer Latte on my Nebula Casual Note paper here. I say it's a medium wet ink, and I think that's pretty accurate. I've had this in 2 pens, although I only did the review with one, which was this Sheaffer Opus 88 Coloro, which has a medium nib. This one has been cleaned out since then. I sort of wrote this review and did all the stuff and then forgot to ever record it. Look, that happens sometimes, so we're doing some catch up, but it was great in this pen. I also had it in a Faber-Castell Ondoro, which I don't have handy, but that pen was long ago cleaned out, so yeah, weird stuff, right? But this is a very good pen, worked really well with this ink in there, so I like that combo a whole lot. As you can see, this ink is a very nice kind of chestnutty brown. I think it's a fantastic color. I don't think it's kind of coffee-ish, but my coffee is usually a little bit darker than that. But yeah, really nice. Quality's mild shading, as you can see there in some of the writing there. Very good, very good. A little bit of feather and bleed on the 20 pound. We'll take a look at that later here, just a little bit later. But I really like this. I think these vintage style bottles they're doing, the bottles are good. The ink is very good. They did their first shimmer ink in one of these, so go find that one. I think it's called Bling. It's a very subtle silver shimmer ink. Very cool. So let's go ahead and do the water test here. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, you can also look at the chromatography there as we are putting some water on here. I don't expect any water resistance. If you look at that chromatography, there is a gray layer that appears to stick around, but the brown and reds there kind of move to the top. Also, these 30 ml bottles were $13, which I think is a really good price. So if you get a chance to get your hands on some of these, I would say do it because these are all really great. Check out Retro Sunset and Inferno, and there's a very nice green. There's a really good blue, like all kinds of good colors. All right, so a lot of it did come up as expected. Let's see, did that gray layer stick around? Yeah, a little bit. I think you'd be able to recover your work, but it's not going to look great. So, do be careful about water around this. There aren't really all that many water resistant brown inks, I don't think either. There's some of these colors that don't do water resistance very well, and brown seems to be one of them. Brown's usually made up of a bunch of other colors, as you can see here, and so it's hard to make them all water resistant, I guess, unless it's pigmented, in which case that's a different story. All right, let's look at a whole bunch of different papers. All right, first up, this is the Staples 20 pound, 30% recycled copy paper. This is sort of your bottom drawer paper that you'll get in your office copier. And as you can see, there is a little bit of feathering there. Not a whole lot, but there's some. There's also some bleed through, but actually it's not that bad. Pretty well everything else is on that level of bleed through. This is just not paper that is meant for any kind of liquid ink. Oftentimes roller balls will even do that. What was this one? Wow, Tiger Quill Prowl, killing it. That's a broad nib too, and it didn't come through at all. So that's really neat and exceptional. But this one, pretty average on the copy paper, I think. Next up, I was using it on this paper right here, which is Domtar Bold 28 from Blank Slate Paper Co. Blank Slate has folded up operations. They are not doing this stuff anymore, but you can find Domtar Bold, and it is a really nice paper, actually. I want to say it's being sold under the Kodak name, but if you Google it up, you'll be able to find what it is now. And I think it's a very good paper for fountain pens, frankly. I liked it a lot. You can tell the writing here looks good. It's clean. It's a nice brown. There's no bleed through onto the back at all. Just, worked really well on here. A little real extreme close-up for that little bit of shading you get from this ink. So there you go. Here's your information about maintained remains. It's really interesting. A bit of chapter here from this book that I've been transcribing, The 99% Invisible City. And you can see I'm currently on page like 70 some odd. So this was a while back, but look, sometimes you forget about reviews. All right, let's move on. Next up, my currently inked Inky Fingers book, right here. There it is. And you can see there's a question mark there. I have no idea when I inked this pen up. I just didn't write it down. I did remember exactly which ink was in it for some reason, but I just never wrote down when it was. I don't know why. Just kind of forgot. But it looks really good on here. Some of the like little reddish tones come out in the middle there on this paper. Looking very nice. Lastly, for paper is my Galen Leather Co. Everyday book. This is Tomoe River paper, the original recipe stuff, and it looks very, very dark on here. It doesn't really soak in or anything, so you get a very, very dark brown on this Tomoe River, which is interesting. There's a little bit of a sheen almost on there too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's not. It doesn't look as good on here as other places because I don't think you get the brown as much. Also, a little bit of smearing, but that's just because I closed it too early and I smudged it. So that's kind of on me. All right, time for some comparable colors. I have a lot of browns. I'm a really big brown fan, so there it is on the Colodex paper. Right there, looking really nice. Bought that in 2022. Here's Diamine Roasted Chestnut. This is from the 2019 Inkvent, and it's a bit lighter than Latte, but it's definitely in the same realm. Also, Colorverse Coffee Break, and their coffee-themed ink there, which I got from Jet Pens. Tasha Cha, which would be tea, another very kind of close match there. Then I threw in Peniddict Sepia, or Sepia? I don't know, probably Sepia, but I got a sample of this. This one's a little bit more yellow, I think, than Latte. Definitely a different kind of tone there. And then lastly, we'll throw in Sailor 50 States Texas, which is, again, a bit too yellow. But Coffee Break and some of these other coffee-themed ones like Cha are very close. So if you can't find Sheaffer Latte, grab yourself some Coffee Break or some Cha there, and I think you will be pretty darn close. As always, thank you very much for watching, and go find yourself a bottle of this if you can. And I don't know, if you know somebody at Sheaffer, say, hey, this is really great ink. I hope you all bring this back. I don't know, maybe it'll help. Until next time, though, think about what you put on the world, make it a better place, and peace out.